Hello everyone, I'm Chris McIntosh. I help teach the capstone courses. Today I wanted to give you a demonstration of how to create a project task list and timeline from your work breakdown structure or deliverables diagram. So the task definition process determines the project scope. Your deliverables get defined in the work breakdown structure. Deliverables are indicated by nouns. Tasks required to produce each deliverable need to be defined. Tasks are indicated by verbs. Tasks are often numbered, but we'll see you don't need that per se. Outlining tasks help keep the team organized, and task definition may involve determining task predecessors, what needs to get done first and what needs to get done after something else is complete, and task due dates. Task scheduling and sequencing determines the project timeline. Review the task list, determine dependencies between tasks, what comes first, determine task due dates, and put tasks in order. Putting those tasks in order is called task sequencing. All right, I'm going to shut this presentation down and give you a demo, but here are the basic steps of how we're going to create a task list using a tool called GitHub Projects. GitHub is free and you can sign up for an account. It's really quite easy to do, and once you have an account you can get in and start a project. So I'm going to shut this presentation down, and here's our work breakdown structure or deliverables diagram that we created previously, and now we're going to get into a project. So if you haven't already, you can sign up for GitHub. The informatics students have been using GitHub previously. Once you sign up for an account, when you log in, you're going to see github.com and your account name right there. And we're going to go to projects. And you see I've tried a few out, and to create a new project, just click on the green button that says New Project. And there are templates, but we're just going to start from scratch with the table and give your project a name and give it something descriptive. And if you need to scroll down and create the Create Project button. Okay, the first thing I want to set up are the views. So you'll see that here in the middle I have view 1 with the table, and then I've got some new views. I'm going to go ahead and click here in this, double click in the tab heading area, and I'm going to call this table view and hit enter. And then I'm going to make a new view, and you have three options: table, board, and roadmap. We're going to create one of each. So I'm going to go to board and double click in the tab title area and write board view and hit enter, and new view, and I'm going to take roadmap, but I like the word schedule. So we're going to make schedule view. Okay, now I'm going to click back on the table view, and I want to create some columns with some information. If you had a whole team that was all in GitHub, you could use this assignees. It's pre-set up, but I'm not going to worry about that for right now. You're probably not going to use this for tracking. If you have a team that you want to work with and you want to use this for tracking who's assigned to what tasks, then you can leave it. I'm going to go ahead and hide that one. I've got status, but I want a couple other fields to track some information about the tasks that I create. So I'm going to hit the Add Field button here on the right. If your window isn't open wide enough, you should have a slider along the bottom. Just slide over to the right and you'll see this Add Field. And assignees, I'm gonna say assignees is the one that we just hid. I'm gonna go ahead and put person, and I'm just gonna leave that as a text field. But you know, if you happen to have some other people that you're tracking, this will let you just write a person's name in. And I want to know what objective each of my tasks go to. So I'm actually going to go to Add Field. We're going to say New Field, and we're going to call this Objective. And rather just free typing the objectives, I'm going to make this option that says Single Select. And I'm going to use a short description here, and I'm going to go ahead and number them. I'm just going to use O1 for objective 1 and give it a name of training like I used in my work breakdown structure diagram example. But you want to use a name that corresponds with your objectives for your project. So pick a word or two that represents each objective, and I've got an O1, and I'm going to make and in my example I didn't come up with other things, so I'm just going to make an objective 2 and an O3 objective 3. Making it descriptive will mean more. So if we come over and when we start adding, we'll see how that works. And I also want some dates in here, so I'm going to add another field, and I want a new field, and I want a start date, and under the field type, pick date and hit save. And I want a due date when something has to be done. So I'm going to say due. I'm going to also make that date and hit save. And now we can see that I have these different columns. You can reorder these, and I think that I actually want the objective to be the first thing that I see, so I can see what that is. And then you'll see you have these other options: status, person, start, and due. So those all make sense. Now I'm just going to look at my work breakdown structure diagram, and my first objective that I had created was some kind of a system training, and I know I need to create a PowerPoint for that, and then I know I need to hold the training for the participants. So let's go ahead and make this here. And so I'm going to click inside this first box and give this first task a name. And once you have that created, if you hit tab, you'll see that it goes to the objective. And let's go ahead, this is going to be O1 training, and it looks like I might have clicked something and not added my third objective in there. That's probably easily fixed. If we go to field settings, and let's add a third objective, O3, objective 3, add. Okay, that's easy. And then we can go hit the back arrow, and that takes me back, and now I would have my other option. But I know this one is for training. The status it's in a, these are default to do in progress done. Those are pretty easy. You can change those if you need to. The person is me. I'm going to go ahead and put my name in there. And I know that's the first thing I need to do. So let's just click in there. If you click inside the box, you can pick a date. And let's say that I will start this next week and next Monday, and it will be due Wednesday. So there's my first task in there, and we can create another one. And my next one off of my list was to deliver the presentation. So deliver the training presentation. I know that's part of my first objective. It's also going to be in my to-do list. Maybe somebody else was going to help deliver that. We could make a note of that. And let's say that's going to be that Friday, and we can start it and complete it on the same day. And then and you can make these task lists as broad or specific as you need to. It'd be really easy to just have some subtasks of creating the PowerPoint presentation. Maybe you need to gather some information first, whatever it is. It's kind of up to you, whatever your needs are for keeping things organized and getting things done, and whatever your team needs. So these can be quite broad, or they can be quite specific, and that's just something you're going to have to decide and work out with your team. Often if a team is new, you'll be a little more specific to facilitate specific communication. And if a team's been together a long time, they may be a well-oiled machine, and you don't need a lot of specifics there. You can just give broad tasks to people, and they'll know what they need to go do. So there's a lot of flexibility there. Okay, on my diagram, I have a deliverable 1 under objective 2. So let's go ahead and create those. And that's under objective 2. We'll call that a to-do. And let's say this is my task, and we'll pick a start date and end date, because hopefully I have thought about all these things. Under objective 3, I've got a subdeliverable 1 and a subdeliverable 2. So that's under objective 3. It's in the to-do bucket. And maybe this one will start on the 16th and be due on the 17th. No, that's objective 3. We'll give it a to-do. And I have a start date and a due date. Okay, so I have a list of tasks there. The nice part about this is you can actually sort these lists, and you'll see that I can sort ascending, or I can sort descending. I can turn the sort off, which is hitting the little X there. I can sort by any of these columns. And having due dates in order. and these aren't quite in order, so I'm going to sort ascending, and you'll see that these weren't quite in order with the objectives, but that's something that you can have there. If I sort this other column too, you'll see that I've got both of these sorts on. So you may need to turn one off before you use another one. I'm going to go ahead and turn that off, but I'm going to say group by values, and you'll see that you can group by your objectives there, and I'm going to go ahead and turn the group by off. So you can play with this and see what works for you, you know, how you want to do it. So that's that option. Board view, this is nice for just tracking what's done and what's not done. So you can add more categories, and you can change the names of these categories. I'm going to leave that alone. You can do this how you want, but if something is in progress, then you can move it over, and it actually updates over on the table view. And schedule view, you need to configure one more thing in schedule view, and we need to have the date fields defined for the schedule view. So if we go to date fields, and start date is when something starts, and due date is when something is the target date is when it's supposed to be due, and we'll put those in there. And once we define those date fields, now you'll see they show up on the chart, and that's pretty handy to let you see, you know, how things in your project are lined up for dates, and where, you know, there might be overlap or something like that. And I think the one thing that's probably handy to see here is this sort, and you can sort by start date, you can sort by due date. I'm just going to take it off and leave it sorted by the start date, and you'll see now we have the start dates, things are in order. So a lot of flexibility there also. This lets you see your tasks, and this would be great to use for it with the team. The last thing that I will have you do is just add me to be able to see your project, and that will let me see what you've listed up and see the views. So you want to come over here to view more options. This is the three little dots, and click on settings, and click on manage access, and under invite collaborators you want to add my name, and it's CMCNTSH. Without the number 2, I have a couple of accounts. You just want the CMCNTSH. That's going to be my username, and you can just change my role to read. I don't need to write anything on here, and click invite, and that'll let me see your task list and your task sequence. So I hope that helps you create a sequence task list and keep some order to a project. And I look forward to seeing what kinds of things you have outlined for your project.